down on the ground. Let us start down on the ground. And as you know, as usual, there'll be some things that we did on Monday, and some new things too. Focus on hip mobility and stability. So if you come down, definitely lift up your hips and lengthen your tailbone. So you feel a little bit like these hip bones are coming up towards your chest. Settle your upper body down. And maybe your knees are bent, maybe your legs are straight, but just come into your breath as a means of coming into your interior space. Bend your knees if you were not bent. Feel like your feet are underneath your knees or close thereof, however close is comfortable for you. And we're gonna just move the hips first. We're gonna build towards bridge, but we're not gonna go as far as bridge initially. We're just gonna rock the pelvis with a pelvic tilt, right? So if you pelvic tilt, so you're pulling your back down on the mat and you're pushing your tailbone up in the air in the direction you would go for bridge, and then rock out of it. So just this is rocking motion. So rock, you take the curve out of the lumbar spine, you rock back, you restored that curve. So just sort of feel that. So it's the lumbar part of the spine that's moving the most, and with the pelvic tilting. A couple more just like that. All right, and then we did this standing the other day too, is just do a little bit of wiggling side to side. Just push your hips side to side. Just rock underneath you side to side. All right, take a break from all of that. So now let's build bridge using pelvic floor. And we'll use an exhale to sweep up and an inhale to come back down again. So your arms are down by your side. But use that notion of drawing your shoulders back and press your feet down. So you're anchoring with the shoulders and the feet as you start to move. And then exhale, so you're going to pelvic tilt and then keep pushing that tailbone straight up in the air. Come up as high as you like to come up, and then we'll inhale and come back down. And then release the pelvic tilt just at the end of the gesture, then exhale and go again. So keep going with that flow. Let's take that one more time. And come back down. All right, actually hug both knees in. Let's do them together today. So hug both knees in. You can rock your sacrum a little bit. And then all I want you to do is hands on your knees. Let me pivot so this is clearer. So hands on your knees, just sort of externally rotate, push everything out, and then pull it back in. Just this range of motion, just out and in. Just notice how it feels. It's the glute muscles and piriformis that do this external rotation. Couple more times. Okay, now let's play with the following. Let's straighten our left leg. I know what we're gonna do. So straighten both legs out. And I want to play with internal rotation. So we say with external rotation, I mean, we say because it's true that the glute max and piriformis do the external rotation. In point of fact, there's not a muscle or two that does internal rotation. It's a bunch of things that do internal rotation, including the go-go cues, which are the smaller muscles. So what I want you to do is a little bit weird. I want you to slide your right foot in a little bit and then drop your knee towards your left leg and pull it up like this, right? And again, it's whatever your range of motion is fine, and then slide it back down again. All right, so we're just sort of doing this funny little internal rotation slide. Is that making sense? Let me make sure, let me try it this way in case it's clearer. Just keep breathing and repeat that. So we're just feeling a little bit, what does this internal rotation feel like? Just notice what it feels like in your whole hip structure. And it certainly feels deeper in the joint to me, which is why I'm saying it's the go-go cues, which are the smaller muscles that connect the various parts of our pelvis together. One more time right. One more time left. Okay, I'll move it again. Yeah. Okay, good. So now we are ready. You can rock your sacrum again. Relax. Now we're ready to come around for cat and cow. So you can rock up or roll to the side, whatever you want to do to bring yourself around so that your hands are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. And of course, you can be on fists if you have difficulty with your wrists. So settle your shoulders, broaden your collarbone, feel really connected shoulder blades back and down. And your pelvis is neutral, right? So we've moved the pelvis a lot, and we're going to move it a lot in cat and cow. Right now, we want the tailbone kind of going straight out. Neck is in line with spine, right? So there's a nice line of the spine long. Choop. And now let's invite ourselves for cat and cow. So we're going to inhale, which is going to pull the pelvis up, right? So we're going to anterior tilt the pelvis as we inhale, draw the shoulders back, and lift the head up. And then exhale and scoop everything up and in, the pelvis drops down. So just really paying attention as you flow through this to the sensation in your hips. Going at your own pace. Let's have 2 more full cycles, just really noticing how the hips move, how the femur feels connecting into that hip socket. All right, let's come out and find neutral. And let's do a little bit more of that external rotation. I'm actually going to turn this way. Let's do a little bit more of that external rotation, this kind of bird dog, where I'm just trying to lift my leg like I was a dog, right? So just let's do those. So you want to really keep the back still. The tailbone stays long, just using glute and piriformis to do this knee lift. And let's have 1 more each side. All right, let's take a pause in child's pose. So send those hips back as far as your hips go. Everybody's a little bit different here. So send your hips back as far as your hips go. I left a noise machine on, which I didn't realize I had left on. So everybody's a little bit different. My hips go fairly far back, but everybody's different. That's okay. Be where it's comfortable for you in this deep bend of the hips here. Deep hinge of the hips, and breathe here. All right, so that's inhale to come back to this neutral place. Tuck your toes, and we're going to come up into a downward facing dog. So you might want to take your hands slightly ahead of your shoulders in position for dog, but draw your shoulders back and down. So really strong arms, tucked toes, and we'll inhale, the knees come up, the hips come up. Once you get up there, go ahead and pedal. And just really lift those hips up and away. And then let's stop pedaling and just lift those hips up and away. The inhalation and then the exhalation. All right, so we'll just do some hip mobility here. It's going to be a three-legged dog. So strong arms are going to support you in one foot, right? So what I'd like you to do is bend your left knee in and then take it internally, sort of internally rotate it, and then externally rotate it, and just kind of move the hip around like that. Shh. All right, then put that foot down. Nice breath. Take a break. Exhale. And the same thing with the other knee. So you just kind of, the foot comes off, the knee comes forward, and you're just kind of dipping it in and out, in and out. Just whatever the range of motion feels like in your body. Everybody's unique. All right, that foot comes down. Inhale. Exhale. So let's inhale forward to a plank. So feel how your hips are hinged here, right? So inhale forward to a plank. So you're taking the hinge out of the hip, right? You feel that? And then go back up again. Just sort of feel this going back and forth in the hip structure. So the hips lift up, 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 up for dog. And then your hips drop for plank. One more time, take them on up. And then take them on down. And then whatever means you want to do, full chaturanga, half chaturanga, or just put your knees in your chest down, take yourself down to the ground, however you like to get there. And untuck. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Roll those shoulders back behind you. Your head is hovering. Draw your legs together so you're balanced on the top of your feet. And then press your hands down and inhale. Lift up to cobra, as high or low as you want to be. Hug those elbows in. And exhale down. We'll have a few of these. Let's take one more. And come down. All right, good. I'm gonna change around again so you've got my legs to see, because that's what the emphasis here. But what you're gonna do is hand over head, put your head down on your forehead underneath you, and draw your legs together behind you so you're balanced on your feet. And we're gonna do some circles here. And we've done this. Okay, so here we are. Let's lift our legs up in the air, take them apart, drop them on the ground, fold them together on the ground, and then go in the opposite direction. Take them apart on the ground, lift up in the air, come together, and come down. So keep going with that pattern and just breathe naturally. And one more set. Okie dokie, let us tuck our toes. And you can push through plank or go up to all fours. We're gonna work our way back up to our downward facing dog. And inhale when you get there. And exhale. And let's inhale our right leg up. And exhale, step our right foot forward. Lower our left knee back here where we can drop the hip to stretch this hip flexor. The front knee is stacked over this ankle. And inhale, dropping the hip forward. Then exhale, push the hip back. And you've got a half split. See if you can keep the toes down. And then inhale forward. And exhale back. And inhale forward. And exhale back. And then inhale forward. And we'll tuck our back toes. We're going to go back up into a downward facing dog, right? So inhale, there you are. And exhale. And then inhale your left leg up, second side. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Dropping the right knee. So see what you need to do to make this shape. And then leaning, really hip flexor stretching here. And then take yourself back for that half split, hamstring half split. Tugging on the glute there. Forward. Put your hand down. And now let's just pull this knee in a little bit so it's underneath you. And then without much ceremony, let's come around and just sit down. And you can sit cross-legged if that's comfortable for you, whatever's comfortable for you. And the shoulders are right over your hips. And your hands can be here, your hands can be on the ground. And this is a little weird because we're sitting on our hips, but I want to try a little pelvic tilting in this seated position, which is a little unusual. So let me see if you can see it from the side. I know I'm all in black today. So what I want to do is I'm just pelvic tilting and then straightening up again. Now you'll notice that so by doing this pelvic tilt, it's going to look like my whole back is curving, but I'm not going like this, right? It's not starting from my shoulders. It's starting from way down here. I'm just, if my hands are, you can see that, right? I'm just curling this under a little bit. So curling it under and then taking it back to neutral. Just a few just like that. One more time. All right, and then come to neutral. Okay, so now let me just take a peek here. Make sure see what I'm forgetting and remembering. Yep. Okay, I think we're okay. All right, so from here, let's just put our hands down in front of us so we can tip ourselves up, right? And now you're kneeling. And then put one foot underneath you. You're going to come into a forward fold and put the other foot underneath you. So you should be now be in a forward fold. So to feel how the hips are hinged here, right? Then inhale into a half lift. So you're still hinged here. Exhale, come down. Now, as you inhale to come up, feel how your hips come right underneath you, right? And the hinge comes out of the equation. Right, exhale. All right, shake out for just a moment. All right, good. So we're going to play with these hip movements a little bit more. So now I'm standing up and I'm in neutral, so my tailbone is long, right? And now I'm just putting my hands here, maybe this will help you see it. So standing up nice and tall. Now I'm just gonna rock my pelvis back and forth again. So we call this an anterior tilt. We call this a posterior tilt or a pelvic tilt, right? So you're just gonna rock the pelvis back and forth. All right, so we've got a little more movement that is possible, right? And so here, the femur's not really doing anything. Right? The femur's there and we're just rocking back and forth. And it's true when we go side to side too. So I'm gonna soften my knees a little bit. So now I just want to kind of push my hip one way and then push it the other way. So I'm just rocking side to side. So the femur's probably moving a little bit, right? But it's mostly just the hip moving. So now we've discovered 4 directions, right? So stop everything. Now you want to play with 4 directions, and you can just go forward and side and back and side and forward, or you can make it more like a circle. So it's just up to you how you want to move. You just want to play around with just those 4 positions. Just feel what that feels like. My knees are definitely soft to give some room to the motion. And yes, my femur is moving a little bit with this being pulled around by the hip. One more time, one way, one more time, the other way. All right, so stand up and shake out. You might have sensation in the lower back. I certainly do. Okay. So let's actually, we will build into a standing series, but I want to first just do one thing, which is if you're standing up nice and tall at the front of your mat, setting hip width apart, and you can watch me for 1, we're gonna inhale and grow taller, and I'm gonna exhale, I'm just sort of tapping my right foot back behind me in a reverse lunge. And then I want to take it forward and lift this knee up. So that's what we're gonna do, okay? So standing up nice and tall. So we take the right leg back, which is flexion, limited motion back there, and then take the leg forward into, I'm sorry, this is extension. Take the leg forward into flexion where you've got more range of motion. So that's what we're playing, just sort of being here and here. I'm having trouble with the balance on my left leg, but that's all right, it'll get better. My left ankle. So here and here, use your core to support it. Actually, this is pretty much a core exercise as well as a leg exercise. We're just feeling, here's extension, here's flexion, here's extension, here's flexion. A couple more times. All right, take a break. Second side, inhale, you're taller. Exhale, step that left foot back, so extension, and then flexion, it comes up. You're breathing. One more time, step it back, lift it up. All right, good. So flexion and extension. Then what else can we do? We can do abduction and adduction. So let's do that before we build anything else. So nice and tall, balance on your left leg, lift the right leg up and down. So you can just go a little bit, or you can go higher, right? So this is abduction and adduction, the other thing the hip can do. Hip and leg, couple more. All right, take a break. Stand on the right leg, 2. Also core exercise. One more time. All right, take a break, maybe a sip of water. We will build our standing series. And I'll remember before we get there. So we had the idea of having a chair in front of our mat. So I don't know if you need a moment to get that, or you might be closer to a wall. So we're gonna actually today, we're gonna do warrior three 3 times with the aid of this chair. And I'll add something the third time. Okay, so we're nice and tall, standing hip width apart. Let's inhale up. Let's exhale and step our right leg back and open our arms, and we're in warrior three. So really feel where your hips are happy, strong legs underneath you, strong core lifting up, shoulder open more than the hips open, right? Shoop. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale again, really broaden those shoulders. Exhale, the left arm's up, the right arm's down for reverse warrior. Inhale, arms come up. Let's exhale over into triangle. So the leg straightens. So we lower down to triangle. Maybe we look up at our hand. And then inhale back up and exhale, reversing it. Inhale, arms up. Turning your shoulders and your ribcage to the front edge of your mat. You can change the legs here if you want to, or you can leave them where they are. Let's start with our arms down and back. We'll have different hand positions each time. So inhale, and you're nice and tall. Then you're going to exhale to come forward into your warrior three. So you're taking your weight into your left leg. You can tap this right leg in a little bit before you start to float it up. And then your hands can come forward to your chair. As you square your hip, keep your shoulders square. And see if you can lower yourself down towards the chair if that's comfortable. And then inhale, come up. There may be a moment where you're floating. And then exhale, reverse your warrior. All right, second side. Inhale, arms up. Let's exhale. We'll step it on out. Take a little break. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, step your left foot back. Find that warrior two. Really open shoulders, strong legs, comfortable hips underneath you. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, reverse your warrior. So your right hand's up, left hand's down. Inhale, arms up, reaching, stretch over into triangle. Feel that movement in the hip. Inhale, back up, re-bending the exhale. Reverse. Then inhale, arms up to turn your shoulders and your ribcage, then drop the arms back behind you, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, taller, and exhale, taking the weight into the right leg, so you tap the left foot in until you're ready to float it up, and then hands can come forward to support you on the chair. Inhale, back up. Maybe there's a moment of balance. Exhale, step back, reverse your warrior. And inhale, arms up. Let's exhale and step out of it. All right. So we're going to do that exact thing two more times. We'll cut out warrior two. We'll just go right into reverse warrior. So inhale, you're nice and tall. Exhale, step yourself right on back to reverse warrior. I'm actually warming up, hard to believe. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, back up. Exhale to reverse. Inhale. So start with your arms up and then take them into anjali mudra right in front of you, but you still can take them out on the chair when you get there. Inhale, you're nice and tall. Exhale, start to take your weight forward into your warrior three. Then inhale to take it back, see if there's a moment of balance, and then exhale into reverse warrior. Inhale, arms up. As exhale, we'll just come out of everything. Inhale, you're super tall. Exhale, step back, reverse your warrior. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, try. Inhale, back up. Exhale, reverse it. Inhale, turning. Shoulders and rib cage, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale is going to take you forward. And hands can come out whenever you want them to come out. onto the chair. And inhale back up. Maybe there's a moment of balance before you exhale, stepping in, reverse your warrior. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step out again. You can take a break. Let's go one more time. Inhale, you're so super tall. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Getting used to this. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, back up, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Let's leave the arms up. Now, shoulders are away from your ears, right? And catch up with an inhalation. Then exhale is going to take you forward. And the chair is there to help you when you get there. Hip is square, standing strongly on the left leg. And then when you inhale, see if you can have a moment in the air before you step back and exhale and reverse it. Last time, second side, inhale up, exhale, step out. Take a break, inhale nice and tall. Exhale, step that left leg back, reversing your warrior. Inhale, arms up, exhale, triangle. Inhale, back up, exhale, reverse it. Inhale, turn shoulders and ribcage to the front of your mat. Shoulders away from your ears, inhale. Then exhale is going to take you forward into your warrior three. The chair is there. You want to go low. Inhale back up and exhale over to your warrior. Inhale and drop and exhale and step out of all of that. All right, great. That was great. So we've taken these hips pretty much in every single direction. I want to do a little more before we come down to the ground. Yes, but a million ideas before we come down to the ground. So, so heel toe out to as wide a stance as you want to be. So I'm pretty wide. I'm basically feet are outside of my shoulders. Yours might be under your shoulders. So be where you want to be. And we're straight up and down. We're not hinging at the hip. The hip stays neutral. Just bend the knees. So keep your hip neutral and just bend the knees. And then this is a lateral lunge. We're just going to pick whatever level you're at. You could be a little bit higher. You could be a little bit lower. And we're just going to slide from side to side. So the hips are pretty neutral. Keep your tailbone going straight down. And it's mostly kind of leg work here, but solid hips and core system supporting this work. One more times. All right, come back to neutral. And now, inhale your arms up and then exhale and just take a flat back forward. So you are hinging at the hip here, flat back forward. And then just be wherever you're comfortable. So you could go lower if you're comfortable, but you don't have to. You can stay with a flat back. So I tend to go a little bit lower, but you can just do wherever you're comfortable and just breathe here. So the hips are up in the air. And then use a flat back to come up and all the way up. And then you can heel toe in. All right, so let's get a block, which I know you both always have somewhere in the vicinity. And let's do, this is very good for the side of the hip, glute med. And we've done this. So I'm going to stand, put one foot on the block. So I'm putting my right foot on the block. And then when I stand up on the block, I still have my left foot on the ground. So nothing's unsteady yet. And I'll move back so that my face doesn't disappear from the screen. So there you are. So you want to really hug in and up. And what you want to attempt is to just float this leg. So you want to just feel really strong And you can tap down anytime you need to, if you feel insecure. Kind of keep pulling everything up and out of your hip and draw the hips in. And you're strengthening the glute med here. All right, take a break and step off of it, shake everything out, and then stand with the other foot, left foot for me now. So the right foot is still connected while I draw everything up and in, get organized. And once I'm organized, I can float. Tap down anytime I need to tap down. Draw in, draw in, draw in, draw in, draw in. All right, step off of that. Good, good, good. So equally strong for glute med is tree, which we did get involved with on Monday. So also involves the external rotation, right? So stand up nice and tall, feel really solid on your right leg. Then you're going to just turn your, externally rotate your left leg, right? So you're bringing that knee out. And you've got, you can kickstand, you can be foot on lower leg, you can be foot on upper leg, right? So wherever you want to be for your tree. So kind of pick your place. Let's put hands on Anjali Mudra. Just pick your place for your tree. And feel the same thing. You're drawing those glutes in, both sides and all around. The glute system is drawing in and then lifting the core up, is lifting up out of that. Like you're taking your whole torso up and out of your hips. Growing taller, 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 taller. All right, step out, shake out. And now we've got our second leg, so nice and tall. So the weight's in the left, the right's going to turn out, and then you're going to place the foot where you want to place the foot. We're going to do it twice. So here we are, feeling, feeling, feeling. Super strong hips into those super strong core, elevated chest, shoulders relaxed. All right, and step it out. So let's go again. Now everyone's strong. Like, you could always put your hand on a chair, but I think everyone in this room is strong enough to be happy. All right, so right leg next. Take your left leg where you want it. Extreme breathing. So really zip everything in and up. And if it's zipping, you can lift those arms if you want to add that challenge. Out you go. Standing up nice and tall on your left leg. Hands start, Anjali Mudra. Putting your external rotation, your foot comes into whatever position is comfortable. Hugging those glutes in, lifting the core up and out of the hips. If you're happy. All right, take a break from that. Okay, so let's, we'll come down on the ground. So come to the front of your mat, hips width apart. Inhale, maybe there's a little back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's just sit down and stretch out our legs. So Dandasana. Sitting up nice and tall, reach your hands forward. Actually, point your toes and point your fingers and then bring them up together. We'll do it together today. More. All right, take a break. Now, I want to give you one more really strong one for hip mobility, but you'll have to see how this feels. Deb, in particular, with how your hip feels. Okay, You're gonna start off sitting, so your feet are wider than your shoulders, and you can have your hands down on the ground. And we just want to drop this way. Is it okay? And drop this way. Yeah, good. So it's just, this is just really nice for mobility. Times. All right, take a break from that while I see. Oh yeah, I think this is worth it too. I think I did do this. So just take your legs out, and it's some sort of V, doesn't have to be very wide, whatever's comfortable for you. And you're gonna just slide your hands and take your, so go forward with a flat back. And then if you want to round your back, you can, but you don't have to, right? So you just might be here. So we're just getting, again, a different sort of flexibility in the whole hip system. All right, then come all the way back up. Great. Let us come down on our backs, and we're gonna, I keep moving my notes because I want to add something to this. So let's lie on our back. So settle everything down so your upper body feels really settled, laying into the tailbone. So let's go into, we're gonna do figure 4 again, because again, that's a really nice opener for the glute area. So let's take our left ankle and put it on our right knee. And then reach through and draw this towards you. And maybe your left elbow helps to keep your left knee externally rotated, or not. You don't have to have that feature. And you just want to be pulling in, kind of heavy arms drawing back towards you. So you're feeling the stretch in the glutes, and just breathe here. Settle the shoulders back and down behind you. All right, so stay as close as you can stay, and then you're going to drop everything over to the right, so the left foot's on the ground. And then take your left arm and stretch it out, and see if you can turn your head and look over your left arm as you relax here. Turn your head back to center first, and take your left leg out and around. Lift your right leg up. Maybe shake everything out for a moment before you put your feet back down on the ground. We're going to go the other way. So now the right ankle's on the left thigh. Grab under there, pull in as far as you can. Maybe the right elbow helps to keep the right knee externally rotated. Just breathe here. And for me, it's always slightly different one side versus the others. It's just notice what you notice. All right, so the right foot's gonna drop, right? Everything's gonna drop over the side. So just your hips just flounce wherever they flounce. The right arm comes out and you turn and look out over your right hand. Just sort of feel whatever you're feeling in the whole hip system here. Turn that head to center. Take the right leg around, lift the left leg up, maybe shake everything out a little bit. Let's go for happy baby. So grabbing your feet. So, oh, this should feel different and good. So maybe rock from side to side and stretch, maybe straighten and bend your legs. See how you feel inside your happy baby, whatever you like. And then straighten out your legs. And lengthen that tailbone underneath you, settle the upper body down. And have arms down by your side with your palms facing up, which helps to drop the shoulders back and down. And let's just come into our breath. So really, so now let the legs fall apart. So you're nothing's holding them together. The glutes are relaxed. You do have your natural curve in your lumbar spine here. Just see if you can feel really heavy in the glutes. So glute max and piriformis are really heavy and sinking down into the mat. And glute med on the side can slide back and down. So the whole glute muscular structure is really heavy and drawing you down into the mat, really relaxed. And then just notice any remaining sensations you have in the front of your hips, in the front of your pelvis, right? So you might have some sensation of the psoas, which comes down and hooks to the top of the femur. You might have some sensation into those smaller muscles, those go-go cues that connect different little parts of the hip structure into kind of bone to bone inside there. So you might have some sensation in the front. Then come around to the side and see any sensation you might have in the side. We are kind of relax those glute means, but you might have some sensation from the work that we did. And then bring your attention back to the back, glute max and glute min and piriformis that feel heavy on the mat. Anything you notice back there, you might notice something in the sacrum area, SI area, just notice anything you notice. All right, and then we'll be still for a few moments for a shortened savasana because I think we did a lot today, so we'll have a little savasana here, so we'll be quiet. Wiggle fingers and toes to start. Add wrists and hands. Wrists and ankles. Right, then sort of start with your legs. You just kind of like reach one leg and then reach the other leg. Just do your legs first. You just kind of try to stretch each leg out of the hip. And then you can, and I like to keep arms up and overhead, so you can add the arms. If you're trying to stretch your whole body, make yourself as long as possible. So let's plan to come up to a seat. So you've got two choices. You may roll over to the right side and take yourself up slowly that way, or you could rock up, which is kind of fun for having a hippie day here. So pulling the knees in and rocking, and you can rock on the hips a few times before you actually sit all the way up. So just see how you feel, kind of rolling through the spine. And then you'll sit up when you want to sit up. And we had to sit today, so we know to sit with those shoulders back over those hips. And hips are heavy, supporting underneath you. Legs are comfortably wherever they are. And let's inhale through our nostrils. And side out, open mouth, and see if you can side down into those hips. Wash the hips with the side. Thank you for your attention today and this deep work for hip mobility and stability. We'll build a little bit more for Friday. Thank you.